Hey guys, this is Shiny Zekrom and welcome back to Week 6 of the SBL Season 3. This week, we are going up against the Diancie United and Coach Byrne. Okay, his team is Moltres, Nihilego, Mega Gallade, Landorus Terrian as a Z user, Metagross, Jellicent, Tingala, Golisopod, Tapu Koko, Hydreigon, and Porygon 2. My team is a little bit of a refresher, is Mew as my Z user, Mandibuzz, Cobalion, Frostlass, Samurott, Mega Gardevoir, Buzzwole, Magnezone, Silvally, Porygon Z, and Darmanitan. We have what I think is going to be a long road ahead of us this week. I personally am not expecting a very great match because my team has how many weak to fire? Quite a few. 4. And Moltres says hi to that. But I believe with my team, I think I have 6 that might be able to take this coach down. Without further ado, let's begin. The first one this week is going to be Justice, the shiny Cobalion holding a Choice Scarf with the ability Justified with the moveset Earthquake, Stone Edge, Close Combat, and Iron Head. EVs, real quick to go over them, are 252 attack with Adamant Nature, 208 HP, and 48 speed. 48 speed will allow, with the Choice Scarf, allows me to outspeed max speed Tapu Koko by 2 points, and the 208 HP is pretty much just to live any hit I can better by having, some more HP. Now, my moveset. Earthquake, Stone Edge, Close Combat, and Iron Head. Earthquake, some of the bigger things that I really wanted this for were Nihilego, the Metagross, and the Tapu Koko. We have Stone Edge. This will hit Moltres really hard, Golisopod really hard, and I kind of wanted something, between those two so they don't pretty much stall this thing completely out. We have Close Combat, which I wanted strong fighting move to be able to hit Porygon 2 and Hydreigon super effectively and hard. And this would still hit Nihilego really hard because of its really weak base 47 defense. And Iron Head. This is for Nihilego pretty much single-handedly. And if I can, I could also maybe get some flinches while being Choice Scarf and could force him to switch because something took too much damage. This Cobalion, as much as I wanted it to run Rocks this week, I wanted to run Speedy because Byrne knows from my replays I have not run a Choice variant Cobalion yet. And I feel like the Choice Scarf might surprise him a little bit, just because Cobalion is my fastest in terms of speed tiers. But I wanted to surprise him where maybe, okay, Tapu Koko, it might do a Volt Switch or something. I outspeed it with Earthquake, he might know, that, and might be able to switch into, say, like Moltres or something, and which I can, switch in based on. But I think with that, that is going to be Cobalion, and our next is Mystery, the shiny Mew holding Leftovers with the ability Synchronize with the moveset of Stealth Rock, Earth Power, Ancient Power, and Dazzling Gleam. Okay, our EVs are 248 in HP, 236 special defense with Calm Nature, and 24 special attack. So this Mew is pretty much meant to be a specially defensive wall this week. I wanted this because Byrne has a lot of special attackers, and if I send in Mew turn 1, I Stealth Rock, and Moltres and Golisopod are very, very, very much so weakened to the point where it's going to be pretty hard for them to switch in, and it basically, that kind of thing is what threatens him to basically have to run Defog. Defog, he does not have Rapid Spin, and there are a couple things that get Defog, like Moltres and the Tapu Koko do, it pretty much would force him to run one of those two to run that move. But if it's Moltres running it and I already have Stealth Rocks up, it's already going to lose that 50% of HP, you know? And I could just set up Stealth Rock again, or I can just Ancient Power from that point and Moltres is dead. So let me explain the EVs a little bit more. So the 248 HP, 236 Calm Nature means a choice specs Hydreigon being max special attack modest. The Dark Pulse will do just under 90% health, and the 24 special attack is pretty much for as much damage output. The moves, I had Earth Power specifically for Nihilego, and if I'm +1, Earth Power will 2-shot Nihilego. We have an Earth Power, you could also say Metagross isn't going to like it much, Tapu Koko might not like it much either. And stuff I know like Hydreigon can easily scare out the Earth Power. Well, that's why we have Ancient Power. This will help us hit the Moltres super effectively and the Golisopod. And we have Dazzling and Gleam specifically for that Hydreigon, just in case it wants to switch in. And really, it's also super effective against Mega Gallade if that decides to switch in. Okay, I think with that, we're going to move on to Flaps, Flaps, the Mandibuzz female, with a Rocky Helmet item this week, holding, with the ability Big Pecs with the moveset Brave Bird, Roost, Defog, and Foul Play. My EVs are 248 in HP, 176 defense with Impish Nature, and 84 attack. So, the 248 HP, 176 Impish allows me to live a close combat from Mega Gallade, and I will have if he's like max attack adamant, he's only gonna have, without rocks up, a 0.4% chance to hit KO me, and the 84 attack with Mandibuzz allows me to even if he is a fully defensive Gallade, Brave Bird has a 91.4% chance to 2-hit KO him if rocks, if I have Stealth Rocks set up on his side. It's a very good chance for me, and if I force him to switch out, like, if he sees the Rocky Helmet and he tries to, like, Thunder Punch, I could Thunder Punch Brave Bird. His Mega Gallade's going to be extremely weak to the point where he switches in, like, Stealth Rocks again, and I could have one of my Choice Scarpers sweep that Mega Gallade right up. Yeah. So Brave Bird pretty much is for that specific reason. It's for Mega Gallade. It also hits the Tangle and Golisopod super effectively, so I at least have something for those as well. And Golisopod really doesn't want to fight this thing either. I know it has high defense, like a base 145, I think. But if like Aqua Jets at first impressions and stuff, I can just roost it up. You know, roost up the damage, and he'll be taking Rocky Helmet damage. So yeah. And then Roost, of course, heal up and everything. Defog is to keep Stealth Rocks off of my side because I want Cobalion and Darmanitan to have as much HP as possible throughout the match to be able to, you know, come in and hit things either really hard or start cleaning up kills in the end. That's really what I'm hoping for. And then Foul Play, of course, is to have that strong Dark-type stab. Hits Metagross super effectively. Gonna hit it extremely hard. It hits the Jellicent super effectively. And things like Mega Gallade are gonna take a lot of damage from Foul Play, depending on how he decides to run it. Lando T. I threw Intimidate might do a little bit less, but if I'm not intimidated, it'll do a little bit more. And I think that'll pretty much do it. Next up, our fourth teammate of the week is Titano, the Darmanitan male, holding a Choice Scarf with the ability ability of Sheer Force with the moves Flare Blitz, U-Turn, Earthquake, and Rock Slide. Excuse me. So, we have for EBs 252 attack with Adamant Nature, 152 speed, and 104 HP. So, the 152 speed allows us to outspeed max speed with Choice Scarf allows us to outspeed a max speed timid Tapu Koko, and the 104 HP is pretty much to try and live any move I can, because putting it into defense, I don't think it'll really be too much of a worth. And the 252 Adamant is for as much damage output as I can with the Choice Scarf. And the moveset. So Earthquake. Nihilgo's not going to like that. Metagross isn't going to like it. Tapu Koko isn't going to like it. And again, Hydreigon's there, but Hydreigon's not going to like U-Turn. U-Turn, Hydreigon isn't going to like, and Tangela isn't going to like. The Flare Blitz, of course, is my main form of stab. Gives me another super effective against Metagross. It gives me a super effective, another super effective against the Tangela. And he really only he has a few resists on the team for Flare Blitz, but Rock Slide comes into play. Moltres can easily stall it. Guess what? Rock Slide's got to be scared of that. The Rock Slide will also give me something super effective against the Golisopod, and some stuff neutral against, like, Jellicent and whatnot as well. Okay. Yeah, with that, I think we can move on to the next teammate. Our fifth teammate this week is none other than Diantha, the shiny Mega Gardevoir female, holding the Gardevoir 8 with the ability Synchronize with the moveset of Hyper Voice, Psyshock, Thunderbolt, and HP Ice. Hidden Power Ice. Okay. And my EVs this week are 252 Special Attack, 240 Speed with Timid Nature, and 16 Defense. Let's do this. So, the 240 Timid allows me to outspeed a max speed Timid Hydreigon by 1 point. Of course, 252 Special Attack for as much damage output as possible. And the 16 Defense is to tank any physical hits I can better. And actually, the 16 Defense, I can live any hit from a max attack Jolly Mega Gallade, except for Stone Edge or crits. So, pretty much means if it's a Jolly Mega Gallade max attack, and it's not like Sword Stanced up, I live any hit from it, I Hyper Voice it back, and if it's not specially defensive enough, it's dead. Just straight up dead. So yeah, the moveset, Hyper Voice. Gives me something super effective against the Mega Gallade, as well as the Hydreigon. The Psyshock, something for Nihilgo, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It gives a strong neutral move against most of his team. In fact, Psyshock, his only real resist is Metagross. Well, a few things, excuse me. Sorry, never mind. The Thunderbolt is to give me something super effective against the Moltres and the Jellicent, and even the Golisopod as well. And the HP Ice, mainly for Landorus T. It also gives us something super effective against the Tangela, and another super effective against Hydreigon. And with that, we're down to our last teammate for the week, which is Experiment, the shiny Silvally, holding a Poison Memory, so it'll be a Poison type this week, with the ability RKS system, with the moveset of Parting Shot, Toxic, Tailwind, and Shadow Claw. Okay. My EVs are 248 in HP, 208 Impish Nature for defense, and 52 attack. So, the Poison is to mainly resist close combat from Gallade, and the 248 HP, 208 Impish Nature, I can live at least one max attack Adamant Zen Headbutt, with it doing just under 80% damage for max. And due to the Poison type, Silvally will never miss Toxic, because that's how it works. And I believe it was Generation 6 or 7 and above. 6 or 7 and above. Where Toxic is made to where if a Poison type uses it, it will never miss. So I like that. Unless his Nihilego or Metagross comes in, it's basically a free Toxic on something. Especially if he switches it in on, say, like a Porygon 2. That's going to be great for me, because none of his team, I believe, has any way of getting rid of any status condition. My only guess would maybe be Tangela and Aromatherapy, but I don't think it gets it, if I'm not mistaken. anyways, so continuing on, the Tailwind is to try and have the rest of my team outspeed more things. Like if I get a Tailwind up, Mega Gardevoir is going to be outspeeding a lot of things and such. Darmanitan and Cobalion, if he has any Choice Scarfers, that Tailwind's going to allow me to outspeed that Choice Scarfer. And the Parting Shot is not only to be able to lower the attacking stat if something come in, but I get a free pivot into something else. So, say he has like Moltres out, or he switches Moltres in against this, I can Parting Shot, I lower its special attack, and I can switch out to say like Darmanitan and scare it out with like a Rock Slide. And I could just maybe U-turn instead if I'm going to predict a switch or something like that. And then the Toxic is pretty much just for stall in case he like Porygon 2 or Tangela, which I know Tangela has regenerators, so that'll be a little bit of a interesting thing to deal with, but I think we'll be able to do that. And the Shadow Claw is basically a coverage for Mega Gallade. This Shadow Claw, if I can get a crit and get a pretty high damage roll on it, a crit, and if he has, this is basically if he has like no defense or HP investment at all, or little to none. If I crit Shadow Claw and get a high damage roll, and then regular Shadow Claw, that has a chance to kill. Pretty much 2 Shadow Claws and one if it's a crit has a pretty high chance, I should say a pretty decent chance of being able to knock out the Mega Gallade. And especially if he close combats, I don't know if he'd want to stay in or not, because sure, he could Zen Headbutt and everything and maybe end up killing me, but would he want to risk that 15% chance of Zen Headbutt missing? Because he's had some bad past hitting Zen Headbutt. Like there was a match where he missed 3 Zen Headbutts. You know, could be scared of it. And with Zen Headbutt, here was another thing to my logic of being poisoned. So of course resisting the close combat, but the big thing was, would he really want to bring Zen Headbutt? I have Mew that can resist it, Mandibuzz is completely immune to it, Cobalion is resistant to it, you have Mega Gardevoir who resists the Zen Headbutt, you have Magnezone who resists it, and Silvally can easily turn into a type that resists that, such as like Steel, Psychic itself, Dark, so on and so forth. So, and I think the moveset I think he's going to run if he brings Mega Gallade. Ice Punch, that really only be for certain Silvallis and Mandibuzz. He'd have a much better time running Thunder Punch, which would not only be able to cover Mandibuzz, it also covers Samurott and certain types of Silvally. I think he's going to run Stone Edge because it's the only way that, with this moose or the set that I have on Mandibuzz, it's the only way he would be able to 2-hit KO me is if he has Stone Edge. And Stone Edge also covers not only that, but Mandibuzz, but Frostlass and Darmanitan and certain Silvallis as well. I think, well, close combat, because I have a Cobalion and I have a few Steel. I have Magnezone as well, certain types of Silvally and Porygon Z. And then what was the last move I thought he was going to run? I was thinking something obscure, but I don't think he'd run Zen Headbutt. And that's the main reason why I'm poisoned. But without further ado, that will do it for the Team Builder. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. And in the next video of SBL, we're going to be fighting our Week 6 opponent, Coach Byrne of the Diancie United. See you guys then.